just talking about the way you're feeling. Are you having doubts? Dancing longer as the nights grow cold. For love to last, it takes heart and soul. Now trouble with emotions, know what to say. Seconds turn to hours, hours turn to days. Tears upon a pillow, and my heart is filled with pain. For love is starting over, it'll never be the same. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Yeah, you need to know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough heart and soul. Staring out your window as the rain turns to snow, like a rose in the water, has it left grow? Like seasons always changing, you couldn't stand the test of time. Like a rhyme without a reason, made you change your mind. Now I'm alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Don't even know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough heart and soul. Start. Heart and soul. Don't even know. So you tore my world apart.
Well, hello there. Oh, welcome back. Sorry, I missed the last two nights. Tuesday, had to work. Wednesday, got home so late, I sat down for a few minutes and fell asleep. But I'm here tonight. Tired, sore, worn out, but I'm here. Hey, Kitty B, hello. Hello. So, I saw a tweet. First, we're going to get started with this. I saw a tweet from Mersh that I thought was pretty damn funny. So, I'm going to have to throw it out there. Oh, this isn't the one. Let me back up. Let me find it here. Here we go. Last night's debate. This is from Terrorsburg. Yeah, work comes first, Kitty. You're not kidding. Got to make some loot cakes to pay the bills, right? the reason that fly landed on Mike Pence and not Kamala Harris is because the fly was black and afraid she would throw it in prison. I couldn't stop laughing. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and saw this, and I was like, holy shit. That was pretty damn funny. Okay, before we get into anything else, don't forget, share the show out on DLive. If we get to 500, remember, when we get to 500, we're giving away 2 t-shirts, one large JJ Stoner Midget Wednesday t-shirt, large child's, perfect for the ample wife or girlfriend and the appreciative husband or boyfriend. And we're throwing in a Winning TV or Promises Kept or Speakeasy shirt from Teespring at the Winning TV store. So make sure you share it out. We'll have a little competition or contest or spin the wheel or something. Maybe we'll steal Boogie Bumper's spin the wheel idea and give away a free shirt. So hopefully we get to 500 soon. We got like we got 70 to go. So we'll give away those t-shirts. I'd like to give them away. I got one on. There's a Winning TV shirt. I don't know how well you can see it. Winning TV shirt. There you go. They're nice, actually. They're pretty comfortable. Another one from Mersh. I might as well throw it up now. This was an article from BuzzFeed News. Trump could experience the worst COVID symptoms in the next week. Boy, they really want this guy to die, don't they? Oh, thank you, Kitty B. Appreciate that. Boy, they really want this guy to die, don't they? So Mersh says, translation, don't give up hope yet. He might still kick the bucket. These people are sick. Yeah, there's something wrong with them. The media, mainstream media, is 100% trashing the hell out of this guy. And I started thinking last night, because I know that Pence won that debate, but it doesn't matter.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Thank you, Rockin' America. There's your picture of a hot dog. Thank you for the ice cream. I started thinking last night, and on the way to a job this morning, that no matter what Pence did in the eyes of the media, he lost and did everything wrong. Because I saw tweets from Andrea Mitchell. He wouldn't let her talk. Mansplaining, blah, blah. It just goes on and on and on. He's a racist, and he didn't like a woman of color and wouldn't let her speak. And I started thinking, no matter what Trump does, he could give everybody in America a job right now, cure cancer, cure COVID completely, bring the dead back to life, and he'd still be the biggest monster in America. It doesn't matter what he does. And yeah, Kitty, I saw some of that. Some of the channels edited the debate. The Chinese cut out they cut the feed to Pence's picture and him speaking when he started talking about China. That's what we're headed for, because I was thinking about this last night and this morning. What if Joe Biden wins? What if he wins? What is going to happen? Because, quite frankly, they're not telling anybody what they're doing at the debates. Except for they're going to raise taxes. But only on anybody making over $400,000. Now, their plan is to spend $2 trillion on green crap again. We're going back to that Obama green crap. Right? Now, if Joe wins and Kamala wins, I was game planning this out in my head because I'm a little sick that way. You got to think of what's going to happen. What's going to happen if they win? If they win, he's going to use. Now, I don't like executive orders, and I don't like it when Trump does it. I don't like when Trump did that. Keeps writing executive orders, but it's going to make the executive orders Trump wrote, and I know he didn't write that many compared to Obama. But still, I just don't like that. I don't think it's very constitutional unless it's absolutely necessary. But these guys write executive orders like they're writing out checks to, pay bills. Don't like it no matter who did it. But what'll happen is this. You got to game plan this out because I read what their plan is on their website. That's the only way you find out what they're going to do. Because they're not talking about it on the stump. They're not talking about it when they're campaigning. It's not in any of their ads. All they're doing right now is Orange Man bad. Trump sucks. Trump sucks. Trump sucks. That's all they're doing right now. The two of them, Kamala and Joe. But they're not telling you what they're going to do. So Joe and Camel Toe win. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to write a shitload of executive orders in the first day. Joe has said in a few spots here and there that he's going to repeal the Trump tax cut, which I got money from that Trump tax cut. But if he repeals it, how's he going to repeal it? It's a law, right? Yeah, you got Rockin' America, you're right. You got to go to their website and look at what they're going to do. They don't tell you what they're going to do because if you heard what they were actually going to do, nobody would vote for these two clowns. So if you go to their website and start reading what they're going to do is he's going to write an executive order to repeal the Trump tax cut. That means everybody in America gets a tax increase. Now the rich only got a tax cut is just a flat out lie. Even my liberal neighbor next door admits that, yeah, I did get money out of that Trump tax cut. So if he writes an executive order and gets rid of it, so everybody in America gets an instant tax increase on day one. On his first day. But that's not all, folks. You will also receive... He will ban fracking. If not the first day, in the first week. He will write an executive order to ban fracking. You see, everything will be done through the Oval Office. It won't be done through the legislative process, especially if the Senate is still held by Republicans. Now, I also game planned a little scenario. They'll just do everything they want completely if they win the Senate. But if they don't win the Senate, it doesn't matter. Because Joe and Kamala will be writing so many executive orders and turning the entire country into a nightmare. Overnight. You're going to see, I would venture to guess if Joe won the first week, the stock markets will probably take a tremendous hit. I would say that stock market is going to take a massive hit in the first week. Now, that just what they're going to say is, it's only the rich. Only the rich are going to get hurt by the stock market dropping. Well, everybody's 401k is in the stock market. See, this one thing, these morons that keep saying things like this don't realize that they're creating they're giving you a myth. Like, only the rich are in the stock market. No. I know a lot of people have 401ks. If you have a 401k, you're in the stock market, baby. Sorry to tell you that, but you are. If you're in a union, they invest your money, and I know this is true. They invest your money in the stock market. I know for a fact the Carpenters Union in New York State invested with Bernie Madoff. And when all the carpenters went to Syracuse to find out where their money was in the Union Hall with $100,000 paintings, they found out, too bad your money's gone. So if the stock market crashes, most of America will lose their retirement overnight. The other thing they're absolutely going to do is get us back in the Paris Climate Accord, which will cost us billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars. So we'll be back in that mess. That's a thing where the U.S. pays other countries to not pollute. Are you serious? Once we get into that, he's going to ban fracking. He's going to stop offshore drilling. We will no longer be energy independent. What happens then? What happens then is gas is going to go through the roof. It's going to, remember when Obama was president and it was up over $5 a gallon? I think at one point it was in New York State, it was over $6 a gallon. In the city, it was probably $7. Remember Obama said that's a good thing. I'm just, you gotta game plan this out, because the polls, now you could say the polls are fake and all of that, but they got him up on Joe's up by 12 in Rasmussen, which is usually semi-fair. Now, I didn't dig into the numbers yet, but this could all be a play. I'm interested in the last 2 weeks before the election. If the polls tighten up, that means all of this was bullshit with the polls. But you gotta, I was game planning it out anyway last night. Like I said, expect gas to go through the roof. Because remember, we're not going to have cars eventually. If AOC and Harris get the new Green Deal, it's over. You're going to be living in this little, what do they call it, smart houses where it's like 2 rooms. It's like living in an RV. I'm not kidding. This is their plan. Remember, Kamala Harris also said she will regulate your diet from Washington. You can't have meat. She'll tell you when you can have meat and what you can eat. Seriously, I cannot believe people are even considering voting for these two. Number one, Joe's not all there. It's obvious. He's not mentally stable on top of that. Could you imagine him being in a meeting with Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un says something he doesn't like, and Joe calls him a clown? What are you, a clown? Kim Jong-un, you're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. I mean, we're going to be in World War III, but don't worry, we will be in World War III eventually, because Joe has already made it clear, although the media doesn't ask him about it in the debate. In the debates, they don't seem to remember that Joe has said we will be in Syria. Oh, yeah. We will be sending troops to Syria. What do you think about that? We're going to be in some more Middle East wars. Yay! Hoorah! Yay! We'll be spending money like crazy to destroy Syria, and then we'll spend a lot more money to rebuild Syria. Yes, Joe has absolutely said we will be in Syria. Hello? But people, I'm starting to see Biden signs in my area. I was shocked. I'm seeing Biden-Harris signs throughout this area. And this is a red area. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. Now I know New York. I've said it before. New York is probably a no chance in hell Trump's going to win New York. Unless a miracle from God happens. That's just the way it is. New York loves its own misery. How bad New York is right now is how bad the entire country will be. So we'll be in war in Syria. We'll have $5 to $8 a gallon gas. We'll have no jobs. We'll have high unemployment. We'll be spending trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars on a new Green Deal, which is, quite honestly, it's a retread of Obama and his green energy projects. You know, more failed solar companies, more failed windmill companies. It'll be a retread of that. The thing that makes me even more nervous is that Joe, I don't think, is going to make it through the entire first term. Now you got Kamala, who will be more than happy to bring in Beto O'Rourke to take your guns away. And that's just the flat-out truth. They can say, no, we're not going to take all your guns. Just the ARs. Well, guess what? Beto O'Rourke said semi-automatics have to go too. I mean, these guys will go. If the left takes over, and they are the left, I'm tired of hearing about how Joe Biden is a centrist, a left of center, that he reaches across the aisle and works with the other side. If Joe Biden gets in, he's going to be the most radical leftist president since FDR. And FDR was a radical leftist president. And look how well he did. The Great Depression went on for 7 years longer than it had to. And it absolutely did. Even UCLA did a study on it and said FDR's policies lengthened the Great Depression by 7 years. You know, people don't even remember recent history. The greatest recession since the Great Depression, or whatever the hell Obama used to say, about his term in office, that was the slowest recovery since FDR. Why? Because it was all leftist policies that don't work. They raised taxes. What else they do? Green projects. The stimulus money. Nobody still knows where that stimulus, $860 billion went. Remember, the great Joe Biden was in charge of that. Why doesn't the media ask him at the debate that, you know, you failed with the stimulus? Where'd the money go? What was it spent on? Quantitative easing. Now, what I can't fathom is that the left is complaining about the money Trump spent in office, in his time in office. Obama spent more than every president combined before him. And nobody said a word. The media never complained, never said anything about the debt. It was quite all right because he inherited, you know, and he has saved us from the abyss. We were going over the cliff until the great Obama saved us. He didn't save us from anything. He just prolonged the pain. The reason why the reason why Biden, and there's no difference between Obama and Biden. They're the same. Biden. You can call him Biden. Because we're going to go back, if he wins, to the same failure of Barack Obama. It'll be the same failed policies. We will get into the TPP. Joe's already said that. He's saying these things, and people know that that stuff's terrible. But he's up by 16 and 12 and 14 in polls. I don't know. I'm just going to wait to see. In the last 2 weeks, the polls should tighten up. And hopefully they do. I know the polls are padded. But, and I've said it before, 10% is a landslide in an election. That's Joe Biden winning by 10 million votes. Plus. 14%, 16% is Joe Biden winning by 16 to 17 million votes. Now, Hillary won the popular vote. Who knows if it's really true because they're finding out about a lot of illegal aliens that voted and a lot of voter fraud from 2016. But say she did actually win by the popular vote by 2.5 million votes. You're talking about Joe Biden winning by 16 to 17 million votes? More than 13 million more than Hillary? I mean... Now, I would shave right now at this point probably 8% off of that 16 poll because a lot of that's bunk. Also, where is the region of polling? Is it New York and California? Because if it's New York, Illinois, and California, well, yeah, I can get 16% if I'm a liberal. I've never been polled. If you've been polled out in the chat, let me know, but I've never been polled by a pollster. Let me know in the chat, and I'll let you know who's been polled. I don't think anybody I know has been polled. I know that that question's always posted on Twitter, and most people say, no, never. I've never been polled. Here's something interesting. I can't believe they did this. I mean, this is mind-boggling. Is there a video? Oh, there is. This is from Sarah Carter's show. Video: naked celebs try to get Americans to vote. You're a bug? Are you kidding me? Now that we have your attention, vote. And if you're voting absentee, make sure you follow all of the instructions on your ballot. Naked ballots. What the hell? The celebrities are so irrelevant, they're trying anything they can now to get your attention.
I'm naked.
I'm completely butt-ass naked.
I'm naked.
I'm like naked.
There isn't a man behind me. These are my hands.
Why you want me to be naked?
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ruffalo, put your clothes on.
To be honest, I wish I could cover my hands with my boobs, but here we are.
I'm here to talk to you about voting. Did you know that ballots could be naked?
And if you don't do exactly what I tell you, your ballot could get thrown out.
This is my ballot. Just got it.
First of all, when your ballot comes, you're supposed to read the instructions.
Read and follow the instructions that come with your ballot.
If they say to use a black pen, use a black pen.
I know that's like literally the least sexy thing a completely naked person could say, but...
But I have crumb like can of Pepsi. Is problem?
Number 2.
In some states like Pennsylvania.
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 There are 2 envelopes you have to stuff
your ballot in. Otherwise, it's called a naked ballot.
Naked ballots. And you don't want to have one of those.
Number 3, mail your ballot in as soon as you can.
Don't sit on them. Get those things out ASAP.
Like now.
Yes, please don't sit on your ballot if you're naked. You may smudge. Oh, Regina Harvey got polled for a local election. Nobody so far on a national election, but please don't sit on your ballot naked. You may leave a streak in your ballot.
Do it!
Get it in as soon as you can.
I gotta get my ballot to the mother.
I feel bad for that car seat right now. That poor car seat. I hope she's not all the way naked in that car.
In post office. Let's go.
Please vote.
Take your clothes off and vote.
Vote.
Nobody wants to see Amy Schumer naked. No, but look at that. Ugh. That is just disgusting. Do you want to see Amy Schumer naked? If you're going to attract people to vote with naked people, at least pick some good-looking naked people. Don't pick this fat slob.
And vote.
Vote, vote, vote. Everyone's voice matters in this election.
Please vote.
America needs you.
I gotta think they've become so irrelevant now. They're so irrelevant now. Yeah, I think it was Cuba Gooding Jr. I think the celebrities are so irrelevant, they're trying desperately to make themselves relevant. What do you think? I think so. I think nobody cares what they have to say. Speaking of voting in... perfect segue. Speaking of mail-in ballots, mail carrier accused of dumping mail. Oh, but mail fraud doesn't happen. Ballot fraud doesn't happen. Your ballot's secure. Mail carrier accused of dumping mail, including ballots sent to New Jersey residents. Number one, is your ballot right? Because that seems to be a big problem. So, government handling paper ballots mailed in through the U.S. Post Office, what could go wrong? Made in USA review. Thank you for the lemons. What could go wrong? The government running everything through the post office. What could possibly go wrong? Can the government do anything right at this point? I mean, come on. So they've had a ton of issues with getting the ballots right. In fact, there were 2,000 ballots mailed out without a presidential pick on it. That's not a problem. No, there's no problems at all. That's right, Kitty B. The post office can't even get your package to you on time, even if it makes it to you at all. Well, we're about to find out why it doesn't make it to you, Kitty.
Something of a scandal in New Jersey. A postal worker arrested today for throwing away mail, nearly 2,000 pieces of mail. And the headline here, 99 of the pieces were general election ballots from the Hudson County Board of Elections. They were supposed to be delivered to residents in West Orange. One person responsible almost for the disappearance of dozens of votes. New Jersey reporter Tony H. with the story. She's live at federal court in Newark.
Interesting. So, in case you didn't know, the Postal Union has endorsed, guess who? Joe Biden. So my guess would be that West Orange County is probably a red county in New Jersey. And why this is playing, I will look it up. and we shall see. Because it only seems to be happening in areas where the more likely voters will be Trump voters. So I think that was West Orange County, New Jersey.
Tony.
Good afternoon. Like you said, that discarded mail included those 99 ballots for the general election. And officials have told us that those ballots were sent out in the mail again. So now they are in the rightful hands of the voters who were supposed to get them in the first place. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see that dumpster there. It's one of two where the discarded mail from that same mail carrier was found. And here is a picture of that mail. Howard Dinger snapped this photo and posted it on social media. He came across it while he was making an unrelated delivery to a nearby bank. Postal investigators arrested mail carrier 26-year-old Nicholas Beauchesne of Kearney. He lives close to this location. He was in court this afternoon on charges involving throwing away nearly 2,000 pieces of mail, some of it in a dumpster in West Orange. In fact, those general election ballots were for voters in West Orange. As you said, our New Jersey crews spoke to Mr. Dinger about discovering all that tossed mail.
At first it looked like, junk mail, circulars and things like that. And then I flipped over a piece and I saw something that said address correction, that kind of thing, whatever, when it's important mail, type of thing. Flipped through a few more pages. I saw something that said ballots on it. And at that.
By the way, I looked it up. West Orange County is a red county in New Jersey. Kind of guessed that, didn't I? Would figure.
At that point, I knew it was serious.
Well, that dump mail was found October 2nd and October 5th. Inspectors say the investigation concluded that Nicholas Beauchesne was the only carrier who could have had that mail out for delivery on his route on those days. He could face 5.5 years in prison and more than $250,000 in fines if he is convicted. Beauchesne's bail this afternoon was set at $25,000, and right now federal prosecutors say it does not appear his actions were politically motivated.
Of course not. He just happens during the election time.
Homemade, delicious.
He just happens during the election time to start throwing mail out. It's not politically motivated whatsoever. This is like the 5th story I've seen about mail dumped on either the side of the road, in a dumpster, in garbage pails. It's happening nonstop. Remember, the U.S. Postal Service, their union, endorsed Joseph Biden. Oh, we've got more. Oh, that's the same U.S. mail carrier. I had another one, but I must have grabbed the same one twice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing story after story after story of ballots having problems. Multiple ballots sent to the wrong people. Ballots sent to homes where people haven't lived there in 8 to 10 years. The envelopes not matching the names. But mail-in voting is a good idea. Because remember, we have a virus. You can't vote. We have a virus. You can't vote. So we need to listen to the scientists, folks, on coronavirus. Now remember, we can't vote. We have to vote by mail. You shouldn't go to vote in person because of the virus. And we should always listen to the scientists. Or don't you believe in science? I got one for you, Libs. 6,500 scientists, and this is from... Oh, come on. This is from the Daily Mail. 6,500 scientists and medics signed anti-lockdown petition calling for focused protection of vulnerable people from COVID so the young can build herd immunity. No shit. I've been saying this from the beginning. Yeah, protect the seniors in nursing homes, but don't lock down. Don't just shut down every business, especially in New York State. You can't. How are you going to survive? It's starting to show. New York State has lost 60% of its small businesses, and they may never come back. Regal Cinemas in our local mall has shut down. They are never coming back. Now, it's a bigger corporation, I realize that, but the cinemas are still closed in New York. 60% of small businesses, mostly restaurants and bars, will never open again. I heard a number like 250 bars in New York City will never reopen. It may be more than that. Yeah, the virus seems to ignore riots and looting and protesters. But if you go to vote or go to a movie theater or go to church, the virus will get you. Isn't that amazing? So 6,500 scientists, they're scientists now, or don't we believe scientists anymore? Or do we? Wait, I'm confused. So these scientists must be lying. And the other scientists are telling the truth. These must be evil Trump supporters and white supremacists. We'll find out. Oxford University professor Dr. Sunetra Gupta was one of the three authors. Well, wait a minute. He's not white. So that throws out the racist thing, white supremacist thing. Can't call him that. Concept of herd immunity controversial because there is no proof it will work, Sweden. Yeah, everybody said, well, Sweden didn't shut down and they're dying over there. Well, guess what? They're through the other side. And their death rate is now as equal to our death rate. You see, the lockdown, what people don't realize is the virus doesn't go away. So you have a lockdown, you hide in your home from the virus. And then when they finally let you out, the virus is still there. New York is finding that out the hard way. They allow people to go out, they get sick, they get tested, and they're going back into lockdown in New York City. So they're going to continue to hide the entire winter from the virus. Come out in the spring, they're going to let you out finally. And guess what? They're going to get sick again. Because the virus isn't dying off and going away. It's simple. I mean, it's like trying to hide from the flu. I'm not going to come out of my house until the flu's over with. You come out and you catch the flu immediately. Because you've been slathering yourself with hand sanitizer and wearing a mask all winter long in your home. Well, guess what? Your immune system is weaker now from hiding from it. Because we've been slathering ourselves with hand sanitizer, killing off all germs, and most scientists will tell you, you need some germs. You can't keep using hand sanitizer 15 times a day. You're going to get sick and you're going to be worse. When you get a cold, it's going to be worse because your body has no immune system to fight it. You constantly have to have germs. I've heard a few scientists that are my customers tell me that they're nervous about this, that everybody's slathering themselves and constantly washing their hands and wearing masks and not exposing themselves to any germs. antibacterial soap, taking showers with antibacterial this, and, carrying hand sanitizer in their pocket and using it every 15 minutes because they're afraid of getting sick. So you can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't hide from germs. You have to, your body needs them to keep your immune system working. I've had a few scientists and I have 2 doctors that are customers, and both of them said this is getting out of control, that we can't keep locking ourselves up and avoiding people. I mean, people are afraid to even get near each other in a store. It's kind of sad. Then people are gonna die from a horrendous fart. You're right, Kitty B. More than 6,500 scientists and medics have signed an anti-lockdown petition. Oh, they're scientists, remember? We're supposed to believe in science. Calling for the UK and US to build herd immunity against COVID-19 by letting the virus spread in young people. Yeah, no shit. We go through this every year with the flu. Yes, if you're old, you gotta try to take care of yourself and avoid getting the flu. If you're young and you get it, you get sick and you survive and you move on. The letter, which was penned by 3 top scientists and has since been backed by more than 60,000 members of the public, warns that tough social distancing rules are having damaging physical and mental health impacts. It's even, I'm not a scientist, but I was saying this months ago when I was talking to customers, and a lot of my customers are seniors who don't want to work on their machines anymore. And they were even saying it. Yeah, I'm careful because I'm over 70, but they shouldn't have shut down the schools. They're doing damage to the kids. They're destroying our small businesses. Seniors were telling this in New York. But in New York City, that's a whole different animal. They love it. They think everybody should be locked down and hiding in their homes, wearing a mask and a hazmat suit. Here's the result of these heavy-handed tactics in New York. The New York Liquor Authority, and I've said, I don't know how many times I talked about this on our shows, that liquor licenses would be pulled. Good luck getting it back. Business licenses would be pulled. Good luck getting it back. New York Liquor Authority has pulled almost 150 licenses to date. Well, not only are 250 bars never opening again in New York City alone. Now, I know there's 8 bars in my local area, which we don't have that many bars anymore because of the stringent DWI laws in New York State, where 1 beer will get you a DWI in New York now. 1 beer. Hey, Becca, 1 beer in New York State will give you a DWI. So there's not that many bars left. Well, 8 of them in this area, and there's probably only 24 bars in this area. 8 of them are closing and never coming back. How can you? How can you be closed down for 8 months? And if you do open, you're only allowed 25% capacity still. And you must wear a mask in a bar. Are you serious? So New York has already pulled 150 liquor licenses to date. Here's another story. New York suspends. Now, New York City is getting crushed by the bars closing. I watched Crowdsource the Truth the other day. He walks around, right? Because I want to get a little eye opener about what's going on in the streets of New York. And he walks around where all the bars and restaurants, a nice area. And I think it's near Trump Tower. And there are so many stores and bars and restaurants gone. I've never seen anything like that in New York City. Just one empty store after another for rent, for lease, for rent, for lease, for rent. It was just like nonstop. I'm like, what the hell are they going to do? What the hell are they going to do in New York City? So New York suspends liquor licenses of 6 New York City bars for, God forbid, look at that crowd of people not wearing a mask. Yet we could fill that entire street with protesters, rioters, and looters, and nobody does a thing in New York about it.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Thank you for the diamond, UK Neil. Hurrah! You could fill the entire street with rioters, protesters, Black Lives Matter, and Antifa, and nobody does anything about it. This is what tells me one thing. Not that I don't think the virus is fake. I think the virus is real. That people are getting sick. Oop, got a bug on the mic there. That people are indeed getting sick, recovering, because remember, was it 7 million people have been tested and have it? It's probably a hell of a lot more than that. It's probably more like 12 million. I sound like Joe Biden there. 12,000, 12 million, 12 trillion people have COVID. It's probably more like 12 million Americans have already had it and didn't even know it. The reason why New York State, Michigan, Pennsylvania, California, Illinois are still continuing to do this is because of the election. If this virus was so deadly and they had to save lives, think about it. It's not hard. It's common sense. It's so deadly and they had to save lives, and this little group of people at a bar are selfish and they're risking lives, then what do 10,000 people on Fifth Avenue smashing windows and congregated in the street do? Are they selfish? No. We don't hear a word from Cuomo. Are they super spreaders? Are they spreading the virus? No. Don't hear a thing from the media. That's how you know this is all bullshit, with the social distancing, the wearing a mask, the stringent lockdown rules, the rules to decimate business, is because there's an election. And this is raising holy hell with the economy right now. Whether you open tomorrow, next week, a month from now, 3 months from now, people will get sick as soon as they allow people to leave their homes and congregate and go back to work. People are going to get the virus, right? People are going to get the virus even if it's 3 months from now. And then what are they going to do? Oh, the election's over. We don't have to lock down. I guarantee it. Because how can you justify thousands of people in the middle of the street protesting and rioting and then put the hammer down on 60 people having a birthday party, or people getting next to each other at a funeral? How can you justify arresting people for a prayer vigil? Even though they're 6 feet apart, they're not wearing masks, so people were being arrested. That's how you know it's bullshit. Number 2, where is it happening? New York, California. 2 of the biggest states with an impact on our economy. Oh, they're closing schools again in New York, Kitty. Yep, he's going back to closing schools, which means people can't go to work because they have to watch their kids. This is designed to ruin the economy. Because remember, Trump had the economy. Flat out had it. Joe didn't have a shot until this COVID thing hit. 2 weeks to stop the spread has turned into 8 months of lockdown in New York. Oh, speaking of the Jewish community, Becca. Whoa. Oh, God, I hate that. Oh, just one more here. Fun's over. 2 bars and a pizzeria in Queens lose liquor licenses after COVID-19 parties. You open your business and you lose your license. This isn't even America anymore. They are just trying to hurt people now. And hurt people badly. They flouted the law, and the law won. Listen to this article from AM New York. Listen to how they wrote this. They flouted the law. Number one, it's not a law. There is no law. It's an executive order by Cuomo. So it's not a law. They flouted the law, and the law won. 3 Queens businesses lost their liquor. That means they're out of business, okay? Let's just be honest. They're done. They're going to be closing their doors. Congratulations, you ruined 3 families' lives. Yay. Good for you. Yay, government. 3 Queens businesses lost their liquor licenses Tuesday at the order of Governor Andrew Cuomo. And Trump's a dictator? Donald Trump's a dictator? Who's a fascist? By order of Governor Andrew Cuomo for welcoming throngs of customers, not partygoers, for welcoming throngs of partygoers, because you've had them shut down for 8 months. Over the weekend, in spite of COVID-19 crowd restrictions. I forgot that section in the Constitution where it says when we have a virus, the governor says you can only have so many people in your business. I missed that one. But it's for the public safety. We're saving lives. Unbelievable. I just can't believe this anymore. I can't believe this is happening in America. We will destroy your lives if you don't follow our rules. 2 of the 3 affected businesses are in Astoria, Brick Bar, and MIA. The neighborhood was one of several New York City hotspots for street parties held during the weekend of July 17th through the 19th. You know what constitutes a hot spot? Anyone over 1.5%. If the population in your area, say Queens, has over 1.5% test positive, That's considered a hot spot. Are you kidding me? So for every 1.5 people out of 100, that's 10 people out of 1,000 test positive. That's a hot spot. Yeah, all of Cuomo's executive orders end after the election. Isn't that ironic? And it's not the law. See, they flouted the law and the law won, but there's no law that's ever been passed on any of these rules. A fourth business on Long Island, the Secrets Gentlemen's Club in Deer Park, also had its liquor license pulled. It's just unbelievable. And without a liquor license in New York, and you're a bar, forget it. It's over in New York. You might as well just pack it up and go home. You're done. We'll get to this after the break. I'm going to take a little break, get a drink, dry as a cork here. I'll be right back. Enjoy these wonderful ads from people like UK Neil, who's out there. Make sure you follow UK Neil and watch his great Awakening show. Be back in a few. Here is some awesome ads from some awesome shows and streamers. See, I need a drink. Awesome streamers and shows you should check out. Be right back in 5.
Novelty comedy songs, organic, handmade with painstaking care, put into every note. Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper.
He's really giving that one a workout. Go on.
DLive.tv/JJ Stoner. And we love JJ here on the show.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like when you're in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was gonna just listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do this. Without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No!
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look
No.
like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you. And I
Oh,
hate
come
your
on. You
stupid
secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Feeling depressed? Need someone to tell you it's not okay? Do you like goth public access TV? Then join me for The Big Empty every Sunday at noon. Major_Tom on DLive, with zeros for O's, because everything in your life is that difficult.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on DLive. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on DLive. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us movies. It's our special little spot tucked away on DLive. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
This just in! The global officials that can help all, also known as Got You, have now banned all boogieing and boogie-related movements worldwide. Public safety is the main concern, they say, and people are reminded that boogieing is contagious. Anyone caught boogieing will be dealt with in the harshest terms police have reported. More at 11.
Sometimes this world can get you down. There's just one thing you can do. You gotta get back up and shake it all around. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bumper tonight. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bumper tonight. No one's gonna tell me how to boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bumper tonight.
Most weeknights, join my good self UK Neil over at DLive for the Great Awakening show. That's over on DLive at dlive.tv/UK Neil. Get yourself out of that matrix and get over to the Great Awakening.
Join me, Rusty the Iceman, Sunday nights, 10:30 Standard Eastern Time on Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook.
Hey, Patriots, this is your favorite Southerner, Doc Martin. Just wanted to remind you to put on your calendars to join me and your favorite ne'er-do-well Yankee, Phil D'Angelo, on Saturday nights, beginning with Promises Kept at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by The Speakeasy with all of your favorite Patriots. You never know what we might cuss and discuss.
That's right, Doc Martin. This is everybody's favorite Yankee, Phil D'Angelo speaking. And on Saturday night, we could have Kimmy, Y Censored, affectionately known as Electrolux, the original Grandma, UK Neil, Rusty and his famous sound test show, Coffee Talk with Sandra, Earth Citizen, Stefan, the infamous Grandma Sears, Mac Daddy may even make a show up, or virtually anyone else in the world for some irrelevant fun.
Yankee, you mean some irreverent fun. So be sure to join us on Twitch, Periscope, DLive, or YouTube.
That's right, Doc. Follow us at Winning TV on all of those channels.
So be sure and put it on your calendar. We'll be looking for you. We'll leave the porch light on.
I still think it's irrelevant fun.
But why are you farming for coins when you have a heavy bag?
Okay, we're back. All right. Hope you check out those shows. Don't forget about our 500 follows on DLive. Will get you, possibly you, after a little contest of maybe spin the wheel or something, spin the bottle, I don't know. 2 free t-shirts, 1 JJ Stoner large child shirt, Midget Wednesday, and a shirt from the Winning TV store on Teespring. So, share out the show, help us get to 500, and we'll give away a couple shirts. We'll probably give away another shirt every 100 after that. All right, we're back into it. Let's go. We got Tucker Carlson caught Mr. Chris Cuomo after. Oh, this is when he had coronavirus. Remember, he was hiding, working from home, doing his shows from home, and then he berated the president for not wearing a mask on the balcony.
Health. Rules like that are a form of obedience training. They're trying to see what they can make you do. They can make you do a lot, it turns out. Most of the time, we do what they tell us. We don't say anything. Partly because people like Chris Cuomo harangue us if we disobey the rules. Chris Cuomo calls us immoral for doubting the rules. And then, in private, he whips off his mask the second he can. Here are pictures of Chris Cuomo this weekend, standing at a restaurant in Long Island, cigar in his hand, but no mask. Again, we don't judge Chris Cuomo. Chris Cuomo judges us. And that's the point. Nancy Pelosi judges us too. Watch Pelosi tell you that you've got no choice but to wear a mask at all times.
Members and staff will be required to wear.
Not about public health. Rules like that are a.
Yeah, so rules for you. See, this is how you know it's a Democrat hoax. Not the virus. I'm not saying the virus is a hoax. I'm telling you, this is all to help Joe Biden. All of this. Why are the blue states going batshit crazy with rules, regulations, heavy-handedness? Yet the same people like Chris Cuomo who are telling you you must wear a mask don't wear one. His heavy-handedness. Oh, is that you, UK Neil?
The same people like Chris Cuomo who are telling you.
Oh, hold on, UK. I gotta shut off the mic on my. Ah, there you go. Try it now. You there? UK, can you hear me? UK Neil, can you hear me? Well, let's see. Maybe he's trying to fix it. The problem on his end. He's in there. Let me see. Everything looks okay. Okay, so. Hello? I don't know what's happening there. Whoops. I think UK Neil was trying to get in, and something's wrong on his end, but I'll drop that Discord link's out there if you want to call in. Discord is a little tricky. So anyway, yeah, that's why you know this is a Democrat hoax. By the way the blue states are acting about this virus. Yet you catch Nancy Pelosi, Chris Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, his brother didn't even quarantine after going to Georgia, which he deemed a state you must quarantine from. He never quarantined. He never wore a mask. So Andrew Cuomo, and then he's hugging somebody. Right on the day he came back, he's hugging somebody. If this isn't the biggest Democrat shit show you've ever seen in your life, it absolutely is. They have nothing to say about rioters and protesters, but if you go to a synagogue in New York, well, you get threatened with the synagogues being shut down. I thought religious liberty was in the Constitution. I must be mistaken. Here we go. Andrew Cuomo really went hardcore after the Jewish community in New York. He's threatened them hardcore because he calls them a hotspot because they're at 3% positive tests. Because you're at 3% positive tests doesn't mean that people are dying left and right. Some people may be testing positive and show no symptoms whatsoever. But to Andrew Cuomo, it doesn't matter. Now, if these people were peacefully protesting, it'd be a different story. I see UK Neil's back in the Discord. I wonder if he was able to figure it out. Let's see. UK, are you there? I see you there. I don't hear you. It looks like my Discord's set. I didn't change any settings in there, so let's see. Call voice and video. I'll check it first.
Have you got me?
Oh, I got you now. There you are. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Neil? I heard him. Let me see if I can.
Have you got me, Phil?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Why is that not working?
Can you hear me? I can hear him. Let me check one setting
That's
here.
not working.
Let me check one setting. Voice mod. That's not it. 3. Yep. Output. Input. UK, can you hear me? I tried to change one setting. It should work the way I had it, but we'll see. Let's see if he jumps back in. Oh, you don't want to see my soundboard, do you? Okay, so happening now, SV News. Okay. New York City police officers forcefully dispersing Jews who gathered outside to celebrate the Sukkot holiday.
Have you got me?
I can hear you.
Ah, there we go. It's alive, Johnny Five.
I can hear you now.
You're really quiet though for some reason. My volume's up still. Are you getting me? Are you getting me clearly?
Yes, I got you clearly. I can hear you good.
Ah, there we go. That's it. That's it. We're there. The
Okay.
world's communicating. How you doing, Phil? You all right?
Good. How are you?
Getting a bit tired of this, like you, getting sick and tired of this COVID bullshit.
You got that right. It's getting insane, isn't it?
Well, like you were talking about in New York, they're hyping it up over here again now. On Friday, the person that runs Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, apparently could be announcing another lockdown for Scotland. The politicians here in Northern Ireland could be announcing another lockdown. They're hyping it up over here, just obviously where you are there in New York, they're doing as well, and it's nothing to do with the virus.
No, it's here in the States, it's pretty obvious what the Democrats are doing now. This is to affect the election.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's no coincidence that Andrew Cuomo's COVID executive order was due to run out on November the 3rd. He couldn't shout it anymore, could he?
No, absolutely not. And here's one thing nobody can answer for me. All the mask wearers in New York, the people are saying Cuomo saving lives. Number one, the nursing home thing, which obviously he killed people with his executive order on nursing homes. But beside that, I asked them, Florida has a higher population of elderly than New York does now. Why is Florida wide open and we're not? And their numbers are way better than our numbers as far as deaths.
The thing is, though, he's not even. He's causing an absolute shitstorm with people. I mean, just looking at what happened this week with the Jewish celebration. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Now the optics there is you literally have the mayor and the governor, right? When you have the riots, oh yeah, that's fine, carry on, peaceful protest. We don't have a problem with that. COVID disappears. As soon as the Jewish communities want to come out and celebrate their religious day, send the police out, lock them up. Now, the optics here are absolutely disgraceful. You had people tweeting out like, what are we, going back to 1940s Germany now, where we're literally telling the Jews to get themselves locked up again? The optics are shocking. I just think it's absolutely shocking the optics he's putting out there now. It's getting beyond embarrassing for him.
Well, were you listening to the number of bars that have lost their liquor licenses in New York?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's another aspect of it. Is local businesses. I mean, it's the same over here. Local businesses over here are suffering. They are suffering big time over here, much like you're saying there in New York in the bars, etc. I mean, here, the crazy thing here is, Phil, we had this thing about a month ago where the government put out this thing where they were basically saying if you came out of your homes to eat out, you would get 50% off at things like McDonald's, Burger King, places like that. If you left your home to eat out, you would get 50% off your food. Now, why were they doing that? They were encouraging people to come out because businesses were suffering. So why was the UK government trying to get people out of their houses on numbers, and now a month later it's, oh no, we've got to lock everything up again? Like, it's actually crazy. And like you said there, with the businesses in New York and bars and businesses like that, they're just playing with them. They're playing with their financials, and people are they're losing their livelihood.
Oh, absolutely. The number of businesses, I think it's up to 60% of small businesses will never reopen in New York at this point. That's a massive number.
That's shocking. That is shocking. And I think the only way to solve this is, well, and you know, I know you've obviously you've said that there's no way that New York would turn red, but that's if New Yorkers want the city back, then that's the only way they're going to go. Where you go again, the big question is does that happen? Does it not? You know, you've said there's a lot of deep-seated connections there in New York to stop that happening, but it's the only way to take the city back.
Well, you know, I think the people leaving are people that would probably vote for Trump. That's who's leaving New York City. So the people who are staying are the people who are fine with all this. That's what makes no sense. I mean, it's insane. But I guess it makes sense in a way because I said earlier I watched Crowdsource the Truth, and because he walks around New York City, and it's one empty store after another. He said he's never seen it like this in decades. It's really bad. Restaurants closing, never coming back. Retail, it's just bad, right? So the small business owners are the people leaving are probably more than likely these people.
But just they would still be able to vote, though, wouldn't they? If they moved in such a short time, they would still be registered to vote in New York, wouldn't they?
I'm not sure if they have to go and register in the new state. It probably depends on when they left.
Be interesting if they could still vote even though they've just left.
Right.
Still have an impact, couldn't they?
I'll have to look that up because I think if you're leaving now for, say, New Jersey or Pennsylvania, I think you can still vote in New York. You would still get a ballot for New York, but it'd have to be a mail-in ballot, and we see what's going on with the post office. That's an absolute disaster. And remember what the communists say. It's not who's filling out the ballot; it's who's counting the ballot, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Wasn't there? I think it was New York. I can't remember what it was. Apparently, there were 6 postal boxes. They were either attacked or somebody tried to nick the actual post boxes. I think I can't remember what state it was in. Something I read quickly yesterday. Apparently, 6 postal boxes in one area were attacked, or they tried to rob it, or something along those lines.
Right. Exactly. And on top of that, we had New York 12. I believe it was District 12. Remember that nightmare? It was all mail-in ballots. I honestly I'm not really sure who won that election. It was a primary, but it was all mail-in ballots. They threw 10,000 ballots out. Then they said, no, we're going to count those 10,000 ballots. And then they said, well, wait a minute, we'll go through each and every ballot. It was just an absolute mess. And that was mail-in voting.
That scenario you speak of there, that's exactly what they want on November the 1st. That's
right.
Exactly what they want.
Right. And these states, the blue states mainly, are running through and changing all of their election laws. It's complete and utter confusion now. You don't have to verify your signature. Yes, you do. Number one, here, something as important as voting is as important as your ATM card, right? That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It should be everybody has a card. I don't care if the Social Security Administration handles it. Fine. Because they have your Social Security number. They know you're an American citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they should. They should know.
But do you think by what people are seeing now, obviously it helps that obviously Trump is in the White House and a lot's being exposed. Do you think the voter fraud is being exposed a lot more in 2020 than maybe in many previous elections?
Well, I think because of the mail-in ballot fiasco and the states changing their rules at the last minute here, I think a lot more of it is being exposed because it's quite frankly they created this nightmare on purpose. And what's happening is it's most of it's going through the mail now, which it shouldn't be. But most of it's going through the mail. And the postal, and I don't know if you heard me say this, but the U.S. Postal Service Union has endorsed Joe Biden. So I'm sorry, but you got a government. It's a separate agency, but the government gives them billions of dollars every year to keep them afloat. So it's another failed government organization. But you have their union backing a presidential candidate. This can't go well when the ballots are coming through the mail. I'm sorry. It just can't.
On one side, you've got one half that's backing Biden because they've been bribed or possibly blackmailed. And then on the other half, you've got the unions that are all singing and dancing for Trump. That's crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Tuesday, I've got a union American Federation of Teachers, or it might be NYSET, which is the teachers union in New York. I've got their magazine, and I'm going to scan the articles, and you've got to see what they're saying about Trump. It's just unbelievable. They have endorsed Biden, and it's just a complete. I'm scanning the pages, and I'm going to put them up on the screen. And that's what they send out. I'm sorry, what's that?
I was going to say, you see, it's quite funny. On my show tonight, I played a Trump interview from 1987. It's with, what's the guy with glasses? Old school celebrity interviewer. Get his name.
Larry King?
No. Letterman, David Letterman, sorry. It was an interview in 1987 with David Letterman, right? And very much, this is 1987. Now, Trump's sitting there talking about how he loves New York, he's getting this sorted out, like it was the ice rink in Central Park he was talking about. Apparently they tried 7 years to get it sorted. He came along, got it sorted in 5 minutes. He was praising New York, and there was people in the crowd that were obviously from New York, and they were clapping and they were cheering him on. And yet, as you say now, it's like literally, a vast majority of New York detested. And you're like, so what happened? So what? Because he's now president, because he's upsetting the corrupt, not just not just around the USA, but predominantly as well in New York. That's why they don't like him, because he's cleaning up the corruption. You can't go from 1987 where you're singing and clapping for Trump to 2020 where you're literally just baying for his blood. Crazy.
Right. Well, I don't know if you heard the beginning of this show, but I was game planning out what if Biden does win in my head last night. Because the media is 100%, 99% of the media is behind Joe Biden, right? And everything about Trump is negative. Everything about Joe Biden they're hiding, okay? Joe Biden hasn't really told anybody what he's going to do. It's only on his campaign website. Now, I've read that. I've read that material. And let me tell you, if he wins, America will be, and you can mark this date down, America will be in a Great Depression in his 3rd year in office. Guaranteed.
I think that's why the people of the United States need to make sure that they get out and vote. I think from what I'm watching, I'm literally sitting here on my PC, like, about 10 hours a day watching what's going on. From what I'm seeing, the way Trump's acting, Trump's very calm. He's obviously got angry this week on Twitter with regards to Russiagate and Hillary emails and Spygate, etc. But when you watch Trump, he's very calm, very laid back. He knows because at the end of the day, it is the people of the United States that decide who's president. Now, the media can put all the propaganda they want out there. They can put all the "I love Joe Biden" crap that they want out there. But one thing I think with the United States is, and it's very different to the United Kingdom, I think you've got a lot more patriotism when it comes to the actual people in the United States. With the UK, it's a lot different. But I think the United States, it's like years ahead in patriotism to me. And I do think that they're going to come out on November 3rd, depending what the situation is. We don't know what chaos the Democrats are going to cause. But I think if there's a legitimate vote on November 3rd, I think the people, just like in 2016, I think they're going to come out and vote him in and re-elect him. But as you said, if it doesn't happen, then the USA is absolutely screwed. But I don't, from what I'm watching, I don't see that happening.
If we have more than 120 million people vote, and I think that's the last election, right? We had roughly 120 million people vote in a country of 340 million, minus the children, right? There should be at least 200 million people voting, if not more, right?
Yeah.
But we only get about 120. So about 80 million plus people don't vote. Isn't that amazing?
So what was the voter turnout like? I mean, I've never looked at this. You might know. What was the voter turnout like, say, compared from 2012 to 2016? Was there a higher turnout in 2016?
It was higher.
Compared to.
It was higher.
It was higher.
Yes, it absolutely was higher. Barack Obama's second term, I mean, look who the Republicans put up. They put up a very, very weak candidate. That would be Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan.
Right. Yeah.
And Mitt Romney rolled over in the first month after he got, as soon as he got the nomination, he rolled over. So that's why the turnout was low, because there was no enthusiasm for Romney. Now,
right.
The thing I'm looking at is there is a enormous enthusiasm gap, but is it enough to carry Trump over? Because not saying that the polls are right? One poll has Biden up by 16. Rasmussen has him up by 12. I saw another poll that has him up by 14, right? So say those polls are off by 8, 9, even 10%, right? So Biden's up by 4 to 6%, right? Now there's that silent majority and all of that, I understand. But is there enough enthusiasm? Is there enough people that are not saying they're supporting Trump that are going to go out and vote to overcome?
I think in terms of
to overcome the 4 to 6%, but you've got to overcome the fraud. It has to be a massive landslide, because they are, I'm telling you right now, they are going to be counting votes for weeks after the election.
See, when I see things like, 6 Minnesota Democrat mayors coming out and backing Trump, you've got the state unions in New York, police unions in New York backing Trump. There's been other Democrats representatives that I've seen over the last few weeks suddenly jumping up and saying, I'm actually going to back Trump on this one. So I think for me, when I'm looking at little things like that, I'm kind of thinking, I don't think that's normal. When you've got people that are part of the Democrat Party turning their back on their own party to back the Republican nominee or to re-elect Trump, I think for a culture sign of the election, that's got to be a positive. There's got to be a positive. I mean, 6 Democrat mayors in Minnesota, the state where the George Floyd incident happened, and you got Ilhan Omar there. But then again, I guess when you look at the Veritas videos, how corrupt the ballot harvesting and stuff going on, it's not hard to see, I guess, how they're going to push it over the line if they try to.
That's what I'm more worried about than anything. Trump winning in a landslide on November 3rd, and then 2 weeks later, Joe Biden just won Pennsylvania. 3 weeks later, oh no, Michigan, that's gone to Biden now. That's what I'm worried about, because Democrats have a knack for finding boxes of ballots that weren't counted weeks after an election.
Yeah.
We saw that and the most prevalent county for that is Palm Beach County in Florida. We've seen that time and time again, that they find ballots in trunks of cars, right? We found 5,000 ballots just hanging out in this closet. Where'd they come from? And it goes blue. So, that's what I'm worried about happening in several, dozen counties, as opposed to one in Florida. And, Broward County does the same thing. They find ballots mysteriously, turning up in a shed at somebody's backyard. Oh, geez, I got 4 boxes of ballots here that weren't counted, So
or like in the Veritas videos where the guy's literally got a freaking TikTok video going, yeah, man, it's all about the money. Look at the 300 ballots in the back of my car, man. And you're like, mate, are you that stupid to make a video of it?
Right. So I'm more worried about the fraud that's going to happen weeks after the election, because you're hearing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, they're trying to extend the election counting out weeks after the election. Now, I know some federal judges have said, no, you can't do that. And some Supreme Courts have said that. Does that ever stop Democrats? Because look at Michigan. Supreme Court in Michigan said she can't do what she's doing, and she's doing it anyway. And there's nobody that's going to stop her.
What was it Nancy Pelosi said today? She said something about, we're gonna have him removed from the White House. I was like, did she just blatantly say out in public, we're gonna get him removed from the White House?
Oh, because they're running that narrative that if he loses, he won't leave. That's what that's about. They've been saying that for years.
They are literally running out of ways to attack him. I mean, he had the Rona at the weekend. He came through that, and then it's like this whole thing with Michigan today, and the governor of Michigan, Whitmer, right? Yep. Suddenly you get this breaking news. Oh yeah, Governor Whitmer, they attempted to kidnap her, and we caught 6 people. Oh, and then somehow it seeps out that they could be right-wing militia. And then within an hour, like people that were researching this, within an hour, they literally discovered like videos of these people they've arrested, and you got videos of them sitting there with anarchy flags behind them, attacking the police, and you're like, hang on a minute, this just doesn't all add up here. So they're literally trying event after event after event. We had the pandemic, then we had the race riot, then they tried, Adam Schiff tried the old, we got a whistleblower. They're just trying it one after the other. Crazy.
It seems they're trying to throw everything at the wall and wait for something to stick, right?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. It makes me wonder if their internal polls are saying something far different than the polls we're getting. And if the polls we're getting that Biden's way up by 6, now 10% is a landslide, right? For an election. Would you not agree? That's a landslide, right?
You probably know better than me. I've not looked at the politics enough to understand that, but sounds about right.
Well, so if Biden wins by 10%, that would be over 10 million votes.
Right, that's true.
So that'd be a landslide. So I think what they're doing is, if the internal polls, which I wish I had access to. I wish I could see the internals as opposed to what we get, because what we get is crap. They get real polls that are probably a lot closer to what they're, what is actually happening. But we never get to see those internal polls that, Trump has and Biden has.
Yeah.
The way Biden's acting going to Pennsylvania, he's up by like 12 points in Pennsylvania. Why is he going to Pennsylvania? See, to me, common sense says you don't spend money in a state that you're winning in a landslide. Why is he going to Minnesota constantly? Pennsylvania. He's hitting all of these states where he's up by double digits. Makes no sense, does it?
But that's the trouble, though. I mean, when you and I've seen this a lot over the last few weeks, when they put out these polls, when research is done, to do the polls, they're literally asking like 80% Democrat supporters and then 20% Republicans.
Right.
And this is why, this is going back to 2016, this is why the polls shouldn't be trusted, because, so when you got CNN...
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
One of the CNN ones they put out there. You're like, well, no wonder the polls are showing Biden's in front, because they're polling with Democrat voters.
Right, but here's my theory on why they're doing this. Now, I think that the internals are showing it's either very, very close, or maybe Trump's winning by some margin, right? I think they're doing this to set up the second Russian narrative for when he wins, to make him inept for 4 more years in their eyes, to put that cloud of Russia over. Because if Biden is up by 12-16 and Trump wins, they're going to say Russian interference.
Yeah.
Russia hacked the election again.
I'll make you right there.
How else do you explain it?
See, it was like the whole thing with the race riot. The whole point of the race riot is to get Trump to come out, lay down the law, send the military in, and then they literally use that narrative to say, well, you've literally got Hitler running a country. These peaceful protesters just wanted to come out and protest against police brutality. And then you say there, when it comes to the actual polls and that, and they want to just basically lay people to question in their heads about whether the actual result was 100% done with integrity.
Now, maybe they know, that odds are that Joe's not going to carry it to the finish line. Because why would the media incessantly attack Trump over everything if they know Joe's the winner? Because by their numbers right now, Joe's there's no chance. It's over. It's already over before even one vote was cast, right? So why would the Democrats and the media keep doing what they're doing, only piling on even more? Because Russia hacked the election. He's illegitimate. We're not going to do anything he says. I guarantee they're cooking up a Russia scandal right now as we speak, because you're starting to see some of that now. You're starting to see some media blue checks on Twitter talk about Russia again. Isn't that something?
These people are idiots. They really are. They really are idiots.
They're actually out there on Twitter saying Russia's meddling again. I'm seeing it.
They're so stupid to do that, though. I mean, we've watched coming through this week with regards to the redacted information with regards to Spygate. And I know people are going, oh well, let's wait till somebody's arrested before we believe this is going to happen. We want to see somebody arrested, but they just, Trump's putting out memes of Barr being told to arrest somebody, and then you've got the DNI just passed 1,000 documents to Prosecutor Durham. I think if they're trying to put that Russian narrative out there again, they're either completely stupid, or they really just don't think anything's going to come from these recently redacted documents.
Well, first off, nobody in the media has reported except for Fox.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I don't think any media outlet has put 1 minute on that Brennan note or memo where he told Obama it was Hillary's plan to use Russia to deflect from her emails. Not one media outlet has spent 30 seconds on it. Can you believe it? Except for Fox. Fox did talk about it. But they're the only ones. NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, MSNBC never mentioned it once. CNN mentioned it because they had Brennan on. Can you believe this?
Doesn't surprise me though, Phil. Doesn't surprise me one bit.
And they never really got into the document at all. They let Brennan just ramble on about how, there's other evidence that they're not showing. Can you believe this?
They're jokers. They're absolute jokers. It's the same over here with the media over here. You get, it's like today, big news that came through from it today in the UK. Not that it's news that the general public would know about, but there was some articles out there. The British Defence had conducted an investigation into that Chinese phone company, Huawei, whatever they're called, and how they're linked to the
Huawei.
Chinese state party. Huawei, that's it.
Yep.
Right. So a massive report has got today, basically confirming that Huawei were in cahoots with the Chinese state to basically, get information on people, which we all knew about with regards to 5G. Hence why, that they're trying to get everybody to sign up to Huawei, which obviously Trump told them to get lost. Boris said earlier in the year that he wasn't going to deal with them, but we had an official report come through today from the British Defence that confirmed that China were basically trying to get information on people. Now, here's the thing. People were not knowing about that in the UK. Everybody's, criticising Boris because of the way he's dealing with the corona. But in the background, you've got this going on where Boris is literally undoing what Theresa May did, which was, Theresa May signed up to Huawei about 2 years ago, year ago, whenever it was she signed up to them for 5G implementation. And Brexit's happening big time. So people aren't seeing what's going on in the background over here, just like the States there, because the media aren't reporting it. If you're somebody that just sat at home, believing everything the TV says, then you're not going to know what's going on in the background. As I say, we've got Brexit going along nicely. We've just told Huawei to get lost, just like Trump did. But everybody else thinks Boris is doing a bad job with the Rona. It's just, people need to look behind the mainstream media.
Well, I think they're using the virus to as a means to get what they want. Because let's face it, the media is all leftist. Just about all of the media is leftist. Probably 98% of the media in the world is left-leaning media, right? Mm-hmm. So they're using this virus to control everybody, to scare everybody, and they're using it as a sledgehammer to bash Trump and Boris Johnson. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, what kills me about now they're testing, right? They're doing tons of testing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have over 1.5% is considered a hot spot in New York State, right? So you've got a city of 100,000 people, and you've got 100 test positive. That's considered a hot spot, and you're primed to be shut down again. Think about that. 100 people. Now, just because you test positive doesn't mean you're sick, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people test positive, didn't even know they had it, never got a symptom, right?
Well, and then when you say what those symptoms, well, that's just the same as flu. maybe apart from the lack of taste. But again, you even get that with flu.
Right. Or they may think it's, oh, I got allergies because we're in allergy season here too, right? So they may, I got allergies, bad allergies for 2 or 3 days, and they get better. They don't even realize they had COVID, right? So,
yeah,
this is insanity. Now, I know everybody ripped Sweden. I talked about this earlier, but Sweden's on the other side of it now. They never shut down, and it was probably the best thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Sweden had the same, at one point, Sweden had the same death rate as the United Kingdom, and the United Kingdom locked down, but Sweden didn't.
Right. And the problem with lockdowns is you lock down, the virus is still there. You open back up, the virus is still there. People get sick. Get over 1.5% of the population is a hot spot, you shut down again. What happens? The virus is still there. Hello? We can't shut down for 2 years until everybody's vaccinated. That's insane.
Exactly. The world can't stop for a virus. Economies don't stop for a virus. If we look at virus, where we've had pandemics or such alike for the past 10, 20 years, why the hell didn't we shut down? I mean, let's be honest. Here we are in 2020, right? The year of technology. The men were supposed to, have flying cars and things like that. Yet we have a bloody virus that shuts down the world for nearly a year, with predictions for it to go on into the next year. I mean, what the hell's going on here? Again, it's just, as you say, it's not what it is. And there's hidden agendas when it comes to using it against politics. Again, I'll say it again. The fact that you have Governor Cuomo that has a executive order with the date to start in March and end in November the 3rd. Could be more blatant.
It's not the virus. It's about using the virus to eliminate your freedom. And that's what it is now. Because if it was so deadly, Cuomo would have quarantined when he went to Georgia and came back. He would have been wearing a mask, but he wasn't. He would have stopped all of the protests and riots in New York City, in Rochester, in Buffalo, in Syracuse. He would have stopped all of that, because if this virus is so deadly and so dangerous, yet he said nothing. That tells you all you need to know. It's about eliminating freedom, scaring you into believing that you're going to die unless you do what we say.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
painfully obvious now, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why over here, I'm saying to people over here I know, and they're like, oh my god, I got a test and it was positive, and I got a cough and I can't taste. Oh my god. And you're like, hang on a minute. You tested positive, stay at home a couple of days, just like when you have flu, turn on the heating, with lots of tea and water, and you'll be fine, right? And then half the people over here, when I talk, like, for example, I was talking to people at work yesterday, because there's been a couple of people at work test positive, and I'm turning around, I'm saying, so have you guys upped your zinc, your vitamins, and and it's like, oh yeah, maybe we should. You're like, well, hang on a minute, it's flu season anyway, and you're not upping your zinc and your vitamins. These are basic things that support the immune system. But people are more concerned about the big TV saying to them, oh my god, the virus is here, than actually thinking, how can we make sure that the so-called virus doesn't even come near us by taking extra zinc and vitamins? It's nuts.
Well, at this point, the mainstream media is in on it, to be honest with you. This is about getting rid of Trump and anybody who stands in the way of, what do you call it, the New World Order? That's what it's about. We're going to go right back, because Obama was pushing America there, right? We were almost there when he left office. Hillary was supposed to finish it. We would have been in the North America Union or something like that by the time Hillary finished her first term, guaranteed. They were going to do all this UN Agenda 2030 stuff. They were going to push it through until Trump won.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is the continuation of what Hillary was supposed to do. And the media's in on it, the Democrat Party, and quite frankly, a bunch of Republicans are in on it.
That was the Ryanans, yeah.
So at the Lincoln Project, they know if Joe Biden wins that we will no longer be the United States of America after a few short years, because they are going to ramp it up and go as fast as they can. By executive order, by whatever he has to do, you'll see it. You'll see it happen fast too.
Well, let's pray that Trump does win. As much as I wanted to win for the United States, I wanted to win as well, because the rest of the world fucked as well. Trust me.
Oh, Kitty B in the chat. This is really about them being tired of having to fuck kids in the shadows. Well, that too.
100%.
That too, because
100%.
Look what California did with the pedophilia thing. You know,
This is another one. Gavin Newsom. This guy, this guy is literally signing executive orders to give freedom to fucking pedophiles, and you're like, what the hell? How are these people allowed to have positions in politics when you're literally signing a piece of paper to say, yeah, well, we'll give lesser sentences to pedophiles based on their sexuality?
They can have sex with kids down to 14, I think, in California now, and not be put on a sex offender list. I don't even think they face jail time.
No. I think it's as long as there is no more than 10 years age difference.
So
that's just sick.
You could be 24 having sex with a 14-year-old.
Yep.
What in the hell's wrong with them? Why would you even sign that?
Yeah, but this is part of their agenda. If you look at the freak shows in the libraries, you've literally, you had the video footage some time back of literally, right, a stripper with a pole in a library full of school children, and the parents were sitting there clapping their hands, going, "Ooh, this is great!" With children like as young as like 4, 5, 6, 7, with a stripper doing a strip show in front of them. Then you've got these freaks with their demon horns, right? These men, these hairy men that are dressed up in dresses with bloody devil horns, reading stories to children. So it doesn't come as a surprise, really, that Gavin Newsom has pushed this when you look at what's been going on in the libraries of California.
I just don't get it. If you were in, say, Mississippi, and the governor tried to sign into law you could have sex with a 14-year-old, there would be an instant uprising in that state. There would be people at the Capitol with pitchforks ready to burn it all down. What is up in California? I mean, I yelling about it on Twitter, it doesn't do anything. Why weren't people there in massive numbers? Although he would have signed it anyway, but at least give a show of force, that, hey, we're here. We're not going to allow this to happen. You're not going to be, fooling around with my 14-year-old daughter or son. But nobody even protested because, well, what would have happened is Newsom would have had them all arrested and tear gassed, even if they were peacefully protesting, unless they were carrying Black Lives Matter signs, right? Whoa, I didn't know that. Kitty B, is that true? Kitty B in the chat says they made it okay to show child porn, too.
What's that? As part of the Gavin Newsom executive order?
I don't know. That's what I think she's saying.
I did on my show, I did a section on the actual executive order. And if that's part of the executive order, that's disgusting.
Is it?
I didn't see it on the executive order. I don't know if Kitty's talking about, legal in California. There you go. I just see Kitty in the chat there.
Oh, my. You gotta be kidding me. It's legal in California but it's not federally legal to do that. The feds can arrest you, right?
Well, this is why they're trying to keep Trump out, isn't it? Because as soon as the federal side of things comes into it, it's a different ballgame. This is why you've got the likes of Black Lives Matter and Antifa trying to cause the chaos, because they want to keep the federal action from coming into their state.
Oh my God, this is insane. Everybody should pray that Trump wins. Otherwise, I'm telling you what's going to happen. We're going to be in a Great Depression in 3 years, and all kinds of sick shit is going to happen. I mean, California is just going to look at California. They passed this law, even though they know it's federally. You can still go to prison for that on the federal level, but that's why they want Joe in, because Joe's just going to look the other way.
Well, the way I look at it when it comes to this election, there's two ways it can go. Trump wins, happy days. Patriots win. The world and the United States can be a happy place again. Or if Biden gets in, we're all fucked. That's it. There's no other way of looking at it.
If Biden, you know what? Maybe we should go with MT 2020. I don't know if you saw that from Major Tom. Major Tom's,
no, I didn't.
Major Tom's platform is he's gonna bring on Mersch as his vice president, and then he's gonna he's gonna launch the nukes.
That would be awesome to see.
Well, the plan is to just launch the nukes against ourselves and just end it.
Fair enough. Well, look, I'm gonna get out of here because I need to cook some dinner up. I still ain't eating tonight, so I'm gonna get out of here. But it's been great chatting to you, Phil. It's been awesome.
Oh, great! Thank you for coming on, Neil.
No worries. Have a good night, sir. Keep the faith. We'll get the bastard. Speak to you later, mate.
Okay. Oh, that was UK Neil from the Great Awakening Show on DLive. Make sure you follow him. I'm a little bit over, but we'll do a couple Steve Inman videos and end it with some cringy MAGA song. Who knew volleyball could be such a deadly game? We got to end on a good note.
Into his dome, and Mike. And here we go. Team Chaz versus Team Kyle. Team Kyle serving there. Chaz lays it up there, and booyah! It looks like it just landed to his dome. And my God, they just landed another one. They're playing freaking ping pong with his body. He's dead, for the love of God. What is going on here? And oh my God, they're going to lift up the dead corpse and utilize it to win the game here tonight. Wow, what incredible courage. So stunning and so brave. His legacy lives on even though he's dead. You can see right here, the first shot laid him out. Right here, they're just constantly playing pong with his body. It's terrible. But the team says, you know what? Let's give this man one last victory, even though he's dead. And booyah, they used the cranium and lights out. What a funeral we are witnessing here tonight. Team Kyle, way to go. And here we go, Team Chad.
That was pretty funny. They pick up his body. Oh, wait, I had another one here. Where'd it go? Okay, karma served instantly with hands. Check this one out.
Fortunately, this footage was shot 20 million years ago, but we'll take a look at this. A sucker punch from this weird dressed bully. Looks like he's dressed in some old school prison, trying to be a fisticuff guy here. And apparently he's going to get it served, an instant cup of karma as he takes one to the chin. Get that man a pillow. Call Mike Lindell. You can see Chaz probably has a very small, well, we won't go there with the way he's acting right now. Thinking he's some kind of bodybuilder, but man, he looks like some kind of soy milk drinking fool. Because the reason why I can tell is because his chin wasn't strong enough with the impact of this instant cup of karma that was served here tonight. Well,
He looks like one of those guys, the mustaches that carry the barbells around. We'll find one more Steve Inman here, and then we'll play some cringy MAGA song, and then say goodnight. Open the lemons. Oh, pretty fly for a white guy. Here we go.
To the men and
Well, let me make it bigger. There you go.
who serve in law enforcement, and I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform. To the men and women who serve in law enforcement, and I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform.
That is pretty funny. Maybe I'll find one more. The Fly. I got you. Gail King, obsessed with flies and color.
I still keep going back to that fly because, number one, I've never seen anything like that. It was a fly of color, too, that came at a very, very opportune time.
What the?
I still keep going back to that fly because, number one, I've never seen anything like that. It was a fly of color, too, that came at a very, very opportune time.
Wow. Congratulations, Gail. That's racist.
A fly of color. These people are just insane now. I hate Trump so bad. A link for which one, Kitty? The fly one? Do you want the fly one? I'll get you the link for the fly one. Here it is. There's the link for the fly. I thought that was pretty... There's the link, Kitty. I threw it out and should be out there in D-Live. Alright, I guess we gotta play a cringy MAGA song here, and then I got a public service announcement for all of you young folks out there. We'll play this one again. And I'm like Royce, I can't stand parody songs. They just, oof. This is for the audience.
Young man, walk away from the hate. We're all human, and we don't segregate.
Just like women, help make America great.
We are all in this together. Colors are red, white, and blue, and they stand for every one of you. And together, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make America great. Woo! Everybody sing M-A-G-A, M-A-G-A. Let them hear our voice, all you girly boys. Stand up and make some noise. M-A-G-A, everybody. M-A-G-A. The American crowd, patriotic and proud. Shout it out loud. That's why when it comes time to vote, just remember we're all in the same boat. We're together, we're united folks, and we won't let them divide us. No man, walk away from the hate. We're all human, and we don't segregate. Just like women, help make America great. We are all in this together. Everybody sing M-A-G-A, M-A-G-A. Black, white, and brown from every city and town. We don't let haters keep us down. M-A-G-A, everybody. M-A-G-A. patriotic and proud. Shout it out loud. M-A-G-A. Hero voice, all you girls and boys, stand up and make some noise. M-A-G-A. Be American proud, patriotic and proud. Shout it out loud. M-A-G-A.
Oof. Yeah, I guess so, Rusty. It is better than some of them. At least it's a little more, I don't know, professionally done. I guess. I don't know. For all you young folks out there, I have something for you. A PSA.
Stop! It's time to learn the facts of life. When a boy meets up with a girl, it's the number one fact of life. BD gets around.
BD, venereal disease, is the number one communicable disease today.
BD gets around.
Oh man, that was a real PSA from I think it was the 80s. The blonde girl, Rusty, is Mindy Robinson. Mindy Robinson. Well, there were 4 blonde girls on there, but the one by herself was Mindy Robinson, I guess. I did have this one story. Pennsylvania, from Breitbart, real quick. Pennsylvania union bosses struggling to convince members to vote against Donald Trump. Because they're going to be out of jobs, probably. Why? Union bosses in the swing state of Pennsylvania admit they are struggling to convince their rank-and-file members to vote against President Donald Trump in the upcoming presidential election, as Democrat presidential candidate Joe Biden visited Pennsylvania this week. Why is he visiting Pennsylvania still if he's up by 16? Anyway, as Democrat presidential candidate Joe Biden visited Pennsylvania this week, local reports indicate union bosses are having a difficult time convincing their members to vote against Donald Trump this election cycle. Because Biden has promised to cancel your job. I mean, how do you convince people? Well, it's in your best interest to work at a solar panel factory that'll be out. The doors will be locked in 6 months. I mean, yes, you need to leave your high-paying coal mining job for a windmill factory. Send that PSA to Horizontal Harris. You're right, Rusty. Rusty Iceman4433 in the chat. Make sure you follow Rusty on DLive for his Fighting for the Republic show. That's it for me tonight. I'm tired. I'm going to get some sleep. We ran overtime, but don't forget about sharing out, getting us to 500 so I can give away those 2 t-shirts. Don't forget, it's a large child's JJ Stoner t-shirt, perfect for the ample wife or girlfriend and the appreciative boyfriend or husband. And don't forget, you get a shirt of your choice on the Winning TV Teespring website. Either a Winning TV shirt like I'm wearing now, a Speakeasy shirt, or you can have Doc Martin on one breast and myself on the other. A menage a trois of fun. For promises kept. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. We'll see you on Saturday. Don't forget to follow all those great shows that I showed in the commercial. Major Tom, The Big Empty, Joy Pesci, JJ Stoner, who we're giving away one of his shirts for Midget Wednesday. Of course, the Great Boogie Bumper, Your Royal Majesty, who's on vacation this week. His Royal Highness, the King of Boogiestan. Kimmy Wise Censored, also known as Minister of Fun Kimmy on D-Live. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of people. Day Wave, Night Wave, Revenge of the Sis. I love those shows. I listen to them all the time in the shop. You may not see me in there, but I'm listening. Always listening. Sunday Night Shit Show with a fellow Asian. Frozen Asian with Sunday Night Shit Show. Don't forget our shows on Saturday night. We've got Promises Kept at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and then we have the Speakeasy Show at 9 o'clock Eastern. Or somewhere thereabouts, 9 o'clock, maybe 9:10. I said Joya Pesci. I said, UK Neil, who joined us tonight. UK Neil. The Great Irrational Times. How could I forget him? The Great Irrational Times. Don't forget to follow him on D-Live and YouTube. Great trivia, great songs, great sketches. Irrational Times. Coffee Talk with Sandra. I was on Monday night. Go back and look at the replay. That was the fastest 2 hours I've ever been on anything. That was the fastest 2 hours with Coffee Talk with Sandra. And I mentioned Rusty, so I think I got everybody. That list is long. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday night. So, goodbye. And until next time, I say goodbye until I say hello. Good night. Thank you. I'll open up the lemons now. Thank you, Kitty B, for all the links. You are awesome. You rock. Oh, don't forget JJ Stoner, too. I forgot JJ Stoner. Did I say him? I think we're giving away one of his shirts. A Midget Wednesday shirt. Perfect for the ample female and the appreciative boyfriend or husband. Congratulations, Becca. You got 55 lemons.
happened in the evening when you started to fade away. Now my heart says you're leaving. I hope to see you again someday. Why did it have to happen? Why did it end this way? You know I miss you every moment. Doesn't matter if it's night, doesn't matter if it's day. I can't stop the pain inside. This is a last goodbye. Who's to say